Welcome back for the final part of Copenhagen Dreaming for tonight, and we are in right outside the Duchess's offices in the at the Winter Court, and you are in conversation with a troll and a very, very, very tired Puka.
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe Jonas was searching through the phone books to locate an Ingrid Guldair. I've probably butchered the pronunciation of that because I'm not Danish.
That was actually pretty close.
That's pretty good.
Soft D's, ladies and gentlemen of the listening
And
audience.
soft G's.
And soft G's. Danish language is strange.
Yes.
But the point is that while he's doing that and narrowing it down until we find specifically the Ingrid Guldair that we're looking for, the one in the character lists. Yes, Jasmine will also be trying to having some fun teasing Håkon.
Yeah.
Is going to go and actually check on Ratigan. I know he's checked on Ratigan as well, but just keep talking to him because, gosh darn it, if we don't want to be more friendly with him, because he needs friends now.
Yeah, definitely.
We need more people who actually will believe him when he's trying to be serious. Poor thing.
Yes.
So,
I think Sunny will write... Now I forgot who went to see Sarah again.
That was Toos.
Oh, Toos, yeah. He will write Toos and Maya again, ask if it's still going okay.
Yep. They've both found the people that they were sent to check up on, and everything's fine and no problems at all.
And then he will write Toos and say that trolls should be careful. They are targets.
Oh. Right. You get a message back saying, okay, I will keep that in mind.
But if that's Tuss sending the texts, do we need to know, won't what she texts be the opposite of what she means?
She only has to tell lies.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to write lies.
No, and you can, she could have been serious about this as well, so...
That's true.
It could, for that matter, have been a matter of her having handed the phone over to Sarah to let her see the message, and Sarah having typed, back for you. You can't know for a fact.
No.
Fair enough.
So
okay. And that just leaves the matter of
finding the old lady.
Yes, and you do, in fact, manage to find the old lady in the phone book. There are a couple of people, obviously, by her name, but Håkon is pretty sure what part of town she lives in, so he can identify the only likely suspect, so to say.
Yes.
Yeah, but we still have to check. It would be stupid starting talking with someone who isn't the right Guldair, and she'll be more and more confused.
Yes.
So, on the way there, Sunny will call Felicia again, just to make sure that they're all still okay.
Yep, she's fine.
Does she sound like herself, though?
Yeah, she does. Good. And she says that she's almost at Reinhardt's place, and that she will give you, some kind of notice as soon as she gets there.
All right.
Now, does her saying she's almost there match with what we know of the travel distance?
Yes, it does.
Good.
Just to make sure.
Yes.
We do not believe in anything anymore. This is very tiring.
I would say, if she'd said, oh yes, I'm just setting off, we'd be like, oh shit. But, okay, so we can go bother an old lady in the middle of the night. I'm sure that won't look awful in any way. As we're preparing, so do we want to just be heading off now, or do we want to just do a couple of things before we head off?
We have the dross.
Yeah, you have the dross.
The dross.
We have ourselves.
Yes, you do.
Do we need anything else?
Okay, good. In that case, Jasmine will say heartfelt goodbyes to Ratigan and to Håkon, and be on our merry way.
Yes.
Is there a place that he can spend the night? He asks Håkon.
Yeah,
I don't actually know if there's rooms or anything.
Oh
here.
yeah, like he can stay overnight at the at the court. He could stay here for several days if he wants it.
Yeah,
Okay.
he kind of has to. This is about the safest place we have for him at the moment.
And as you are heading off, you get a text message from Maya saying, did I understand it correctly that you had been talking to Ratigan?
Yes.
Check the news.
I check the news.
The apartment complex that he lives in is suddenly in the news as being on fire, and the fire department, Copenhagen Fire Department, is there in force trying to put it out.
What an extraordinary coincidence.
Then he texts her back, don't worry, Ratigan is at the court.
And she just sends back, oh, thank goodness.
We got him out of there.
And so you're heading on that note. You are still heading to find the lady in question.
Yeah.
All right.
Now it's a little more, okay, he was right. The lady does not like her. Someone does not like Ratigan for being, actually being believed for once. Someone is unhappy.
Mm-hmm. The you get to the address that you found, and you get to the address that you found, and it's a small suburban house. It's not in the middle of Copenhagen. It is in one of the suburbs. You get there, it's 9:15 in the evening. You can see that there's light, so whoever lives there is still awake and up and about. And the mailbox outside does say, I am Goulet.
So how do we find out if it's actually the right one?
You see, that's a good question.
That'll be fun. Hello, we've just come to bother to say, by the way, is it true that you were accosted by a group of werewolves in the past months? I'm sure that won't be...
That was many years ago. As far as I understood.
Many years ago. Okay. Well, that's what we've got some time to think about, how we're going to approach it.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna try somewhere, right? Sonny walks toward the door.
What are you planning? What are you planning to say?
I don't know. I'm gonna let it come to me. Because this is not just us anymore, it's all our friends.
Could you all give me... I mean, this is weird, right? But I'm actually going to ask you for a dice roll.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun,
Are you okay, Joan?
I know, but I need you to roll wits plus Grimaire.
This is the moment you need us to roll something, I'm suddenly terrified.
Witty Grimaire.
Wits and Grimaire.
Since I do not have any dots in Grimaire, can I roll it or?
Nope. That's a knowledge, so that can't be
You can only roll it if you have it.
Yeah.
How can you not have... You're an Arcadian she. How can you not have any points in Grimaire?
Knowledges are not my forte.
Okay, hold on. I can't
Well, they're not mine either. Oh, crap.
That's no successes.
6d10 SD.
I do also have common sense, if that's any help.
I think that's better.
In this situation, common sense wouldn't really apply because it's a supernatural thing, but Jasmine, you know that you could, strictly speaking, just enchant her.
We could attempt to enchant her first.
I've never actually done that.
Well, it's the first time for everything, isn't there?
How do you even do that?
You infuse someone... You've been explained how it works, in theory at least. You infuse someone with a little bit of glamour, so you would basically do it the same way you created the dross that you made from all the... except you would do it with a person instead.
Yeah,
Okay.
so one of us is going to have to basically sacrifice some temporary glamour to
Yeah.
make this work. But then that's what glamour's for, so...
Indeed.
I can do that.
If you're okay to it.
We're gonna have to be let in first, so, so she doesn't just scream and slam the door and run away.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
At least that was my first thought when I saw myself in the mirror.
Okay.
So you do what? I mean, you're at the house.
Yeah, but maybe Sir can run in, and we can help get him out.
You want to suggest that Sir was escaped and basically tried to get into a house, and then we need to retrieve him.
No, we knock and try to ask her something, and then Sir bolts into the house. And then we try to attempt to help her catch him. It's the way inside, isn't it? I don't know. Usually people aren't home when so usually people aren't there when I do things that isn't weird. I don't know how to say that.
Couldn't we just ask for her expertise?
Sure.
Just say that we pretend that we've seen something like she has, and that we heard that she might be able to help us understand it. Pretend that we're normal, and that we've seen something we shouldn't.
If she already knows we exist, why are we lying?
We don't
We don't really know if it's the right one, but if it's someone who's completely confused, it would be stupid to start talking about supernatural shit, right?
The thing is, we know that she knows about the werewolves and that she's done investigation into them, but we don't know to what extent she knows about the other supernaturals, including us.
Right, but if we infuse her with glamour, she's going to see our true forms. Anyways.
And potentially forget it after.
So what you're saying is that we should just approach her honestly and say who we are, what we want, and ask.
We could just ask, hey, we've heard you might know about the supernatural. Might we ask you a few questions?
Sure. That was what I was going to go with.
Yeah. All right, and we'll just have to adapt from there.
Yeah, sure. So we are at the house.
You're at the house.
Then this next step seems to be knocking.
Yep. You knock on the door,
Mm-hmm.
and a slender lady in her early 60s, from the looks of it, opens the door. She smiles, a little confused. She doesn't know who you three are, after all, so she smiles politely and says, "Yes, how may I help you?"
Hi, sorry to bother you. Are you Ingrid Goulet?
Yes, I'm Ingrid Marie Goulet.
Are you the one who knows about supernatural stuff?
She looks a little confused, and then she's like, "Okay, who put you guys up to this? This is,
No one, I swear it's not a prank.
We really need help.
Yeah, right, well, it was fun," she says. "It was fun, haha, I'm laughing," and then she turns around and she's about to close the door.
We can show you things.
Listen, she says, this isn't funny. This is not funny. So
someone infuse with glamour while she's looking.
I think I'll have to touch her.
not really. well, yeah, you can reach out and just, put a hand on hers really quickly. It doesn't take more than that.
Jonas does so.
Right, so you spend a point of glamour and you enchant her.
Yes.
And then she sees.
And she blinks a couple of times and looks at you and goes, "Oh, good heavens, so you're Fae. Oh, I thought you were making a joke. Please, come in."
Oh, I'm sorry to just enchant you without your permission.
If you had any idea the amount of times people have tried to call me a crazy old bat, so pardon me for not being very forthcoming. Please, as I said, come in.
Thank you.
Come on, sir.
The dog comes along, looks up at her and goes, "Woof, woof, bark, bark, woof, bark."
Don't be rude.
Oh, all right. Hello, my name is Sir. The woman looks down at the dog, raises an eyebrow, looks at you, is like, "Woof, woof, bark, bark, woof."
That's because first time I saw him like that, I asked him to stop doing that.
Oh.
Sound like a real dog, and that didn't work.
Well,
He sighs very tired.
At least your dog has personality, she says. That's something.
He has nothing but personality.
Sir wags his tail and looks proud of himself. So.
Closes the door behind them.
Yep. She says, please come on in. I'm assuming that this is a friendly meeting, since you kind of made that clear from the beginning. I think if you had ill intent, you would probably not have tried to just talk to me. So, what is this all about?
We, suffice to say, things are happening, and we need to get in contact with someone who can, what you call them, mages?
Or someone really willful.
Yeah, I was about to say someone. I know of the mages in the city as well. I even know who some of them are. Believe me, they are not your friends.
We know.
It's without going into too much detail. There is one of our own in the Fey courts has been accused of a crime, and we have found circumstantial evidence that they were compelled by a greater power to do so against their will. We need someone who can either prove that this is the case by recognizing the magic used, or we need someone who would be able to resist that power by their simple presence, so we can test it, essentially.
Interesting. I think I might know somebody who can help you with that. Let me make a phone call. I'll be right back. Would you like something to drink or anything while we wait?
Yeah.
Make a cup of coffee or something.
Sounds lovely, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. She smiles and heads to pick up a phone and call, and you can hear her talking. She says, "Well, I've got 3 kids sitting here, and they really need someone like you. Could you please come by and give them a hand? Because, I think they're quite sincere." I don't think they are. This is yeah, they're Fae. They're what you call them, Kithane? Is that the word they use? And she looks over towards you with this, am I saying this right? Kind of facial expression.
Donnie nuts.
Not thumbs up.
He also looks a little confused and looks at the others. She knows so much.
And she's like, "Yeah, I have to admit, I hadn't quite expected them to just come knocking like this. It would be, I've spent years trying to collect information, and suddenly I have people coming to my front door. It's quite something. But yeah, okay, you're on your way. Thank you very much." She hangs up and goes and gets some coffee cups and some coffee in the kitchen, and she sits back down and she says, "Well, so I'm sure you could tell from that conversation, this is something that's been going on for a few years."
As I was, when we were first told to go and see you, I remember saying to everyone else here that, well, we have heard the story of how you came to learn of all this in the first place, and how it was obviously unfortunate that there was any threat against you in the first place. But
oh, I see.
What?
Oh, I think you may have gotten it all backwards.
Oh?
Huh?
There was no threat against my life.
okay,
They're
Please-
family.
They're what?
I'm family to werewolves.
Oh.
I'm not sure we. Is that Jasmine looks to Des says? Is that like kinane for us?
I think it would be.
So
If you're family to werewolves, should we be running?
No, not at all. I'm not unfriendly.
No,
Okay.
but they're usually not very friendly with us.
No, I know. That's why I haven't had much to do with the werewolves in Copenhagen for years.
oh, I see. Well, I
This
apologize.
whole moronic thing they've got going. I mean, yes. Gaia preserve us
Yeah.
the stupidity of it all. Since when? I mean, you know the old saying about men being from Mars and women being from Venus?
Yeah.
It's bullshit. We're all from planet Earth and we should all get along.
I can get behind that, yeah.
Yes, I certainly can't agree with that, but
And
you've done something.
we are really sorry that we come to bother you like this. It's not just, freeing him from whatever's happened. It's also making sure that the rest of our friends doesn't end up in
Oh, right.
very bad waters. Because if someone can do that, then
Well, she says, "Listen, you're very welcome to my help. I'm not in the habit of rejecting help when it's genuinely needed, and you seem earnest enough. Besides as you said yourself, the idea of the werewolves in this city are not normally friends to your kind, and I haven't exactly been on the best of terms with the werewolves in this city for much of the same reason, because, well, I don't agree with their little internal civil war idiots that they are.
yeah, what's up with that? We haven't heard much because we've been told to keep our distance, but they're infighting, aren't they?
They are infighting me. I can't really tell you much more than that because
No, I understand.
But yeah, that's
Just seems
really
weird.
what
You're supposed to be on the same side.
I agree. But coulda, woulda, shoulda, supposed.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's the same with us, really. We're supposed to be on the same side.
Yep.
He says, thinking about the shadow court, but not saying it out loud.
There's always going to be idiots everywhere, isn't there?
There is. He picks up the corgi and sits with him in the lab.
Yeah.
An old habit he has.
She pours coffee for everyone, and she says, back when I was still on the force, we used to have a saying that the amount of idiocy in the world is a constant amount. It's only the distribution key which is up for negotiation.
I mean,
That's probably correct.
it makes sense in terms of science. The idea is that there's only fixed energy in all the universe, so I'm
Yes.
sure it's the same with idiocy.
Yes, which means, no doubt, that right now the majority of idiocy in Copenhagen lies with my kind. Which is really idiotic, but there you go.
Sonny pulls a face. I don't think all of it is there, sadly.
Well,
Sorry
a lot
for
of
that,
it-
but
a lot of it anyway, she says. So, can I ask, what is this more about? Or is this something I shouldn't be asking?
I suppose we are asking a favor. It would not be. Maybe we should give you some information in return.
Yeah. Just bear in mind that us coming to you does potentially mean that if we say too much to you, those who might threaten us might take notice of you. We don't want that, obviously. So
No, I'm sure you will know how to be discreet enough, and even, let's just say it this way: if anybody actually wants to come knocking and make trouble with me, they will be making... I mean, even if I'm not on the best of terms with the werewolves in Copenhagen, they do tend to take such things as family really, really seriously. So if somebody were to hurt me, then the werewolves would certainly go looking for whoever hurt me.
Yes, and now Jasmine has got this disturbing but quite epic mental image of a pack of full-on Krynos werewolves fighting a dragon, and it's just awesome mental image. But she doesn't say it out loud because we don't want to imply that a giant dragon is coming after her. But okay, so
at least she has the luxury of not being able to see the dragon, so
But Jasmine looks to Jonas and says, "Do you want to tell her things, or shall I?"
I can start and you can elaborate.
Sure.
So, I don't know how much you know, but there are not just good fae.
Oh, there's never just good of any. There's always somebody who goes bad.
Yeah, these people have gone really bad. But they're no less adept at political maneuvering. And
politics.
this person who stands accused of murder is a paragon of our kind, and especially amongst the commoners.
Would this happen to be the guy called Thomas Winter?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yes, I've heard good things of the man.
I'm no longer surprised when you know things. Let's just put it that way.
He, for all that we've known of him, he has been a upright and honourable man, but he
is.
And he still is, as far as we can tell, but he has been accused, not without evidence, point out, of committing quite a terrible crime by Kithane standards. He's accused of having murdered one of the Summer Court with a cold iron weapon.
Ooh.
And not just some of the Summer Court, but was she?
It was someone from the Winter Court, actually, but the outer
But someone from the Winter Court, and not just that, it was a she.
Ooh, that would be like you, wouldn't it? She says and looks at Jonas.
Yes, it would be.
Right. I won't pretend to know the intricacies of your politics, but at least, as I said, I've heard of Mr. Winter, and I've heard that he's a good man. So yeah, I think she says, what we're going to do is, we're going to have to help you. And I know just the right person who can do that. And just as she says that, there's a knock on the door, and she smiles at all of you and says, just you stay there and I'll go and get the guest.
Yep.
Okay.
So we'll get ready to fight.
And she
get ready to run.
She comes.
Not that Sonny says that. It's just okay.
Right.
And she goes out into the front hall and says, "Oh, you got here in time. Excellent. Thank you very much. Yes. No, never mind the shoes. Just never mind. Oh, good grief. Okay, let me take the jacket. They're in the living room." And just as the door opens, you are met by the face of this person.
Oh!
I think Sonny just grows wide-eyed. You!
Jaw dropping.
As long as we're not dropping coffee, then we should be fine.
No, Sonny's just half excited and surprised, and also, oh fuck.
Yeah, I'll tell you exactly what happens. Jasmine is actually sipping the coffee. She sees Xenia, and then there's just hot coffee ends up snorting out of her nostrils, and she's in a lot of pain.
Oh wow, it's you.
Well, hello again.
It's me.
You may not know it, but you saved our lives a while back.
I did?
We were in a large building that was condemned.
Oh.
And you killed a lot of ugly things in there.
There were already 4 dead things when I got there. Was that you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice work.
We were playing Kiss Push with them because we were being forced to stay there.
Cool. You did good. Anyway, she says and extends a hand to whoever takes it. My name is Senia, and the lady you've just been talking to is my aunt.
Really?
Yeah.
Sonny offers his hand too.
I'm Jonas. Nice to meet you.
Well, pleased to meet all of you. You're the first Fae I've had a chance to talk to since coming back to Copenhagen.
Not lack of effort. I've been looking for you for the better time of a year.
Well, you'd think I'm reasonably easy to find with a face like this, she says and grins. Anyway, let's sit down and talk. And I think as you do sit down to talk, I think it's a good place to stop until next time.
Yes.
I think it ends on Sonny looking at Jasmine. You're alright?
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Just need a moment. Just need a moment. Yeah, pretty much. Like...
All right. You guys get 3 XP for tonight.
Oh, lovely. Thank you.
Yeah.
Neato.
Yes. And for you, ladies and gentlemen of the viewing audience, we will see you next time for more Copenhagen Dreaming, and we look forward to seeing you here. So from us here, bye.
Bye.
Bye.